Hi mga kawawang math, in this video we will discuss the introduction to algebraic expressions, constant, and variables. So our objectives, we will define the following: constant, variable, coefficient, term, and also algebraic expression. And next, we will identify the constant, the variable, coefficient, and of course the number of terms. So I have here column A and column B. Okay. Now, try to observe and look at the given statements. And then I want you to answer the question. So I have here, what is common in column A? Anong meron sa column A na common sa kanila? If you will try to give the number of eggs in a dozen, the number of minutes in an hour, and the length of a meter, so what is common among these three? So, ano ang common sa kanila? We can give the value nung hinihingi. Tama? Well, how about in column B? In column B, if we were asked to give the number of persons' heartbeat per minute, the number of enrollees in your school each year, and your electric bill per month, kung kukunin natin itong mga to, we cannot get the same value. So, yun ang common sa kanila. Pare-pareho itong hindi makakapagbigay ng exact value. Why? Kasi it varies. Okay? Iba-iba. Okay? Unlike this one, when we say dozen, minutes in an hour, length of a meter, there is an exact value for this. Okay? So, yun po ang pagkakapareho nila. Now, what makes these two groups different? Anong pagkakaiba? So, ito, we can give the fixed value or yung exact value. And then this one, it has different value. Okay? So, yun po ang pagkakaiba nila. Yung column A, there is a fixed value. So, fixed. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya nababago. Unlike sa column B, we have different values. So, ito, pabago-bago siya. Okay? So, yun po ang difference nila. Now, can you add or give more examples in column A? Okay, so ano pa ba yung mga examples na pwede sa column A? Pwede dyan yung months in a year. Kasi pag sinabi natin months in a year, it doesn't change. It's always 12. Okay? Halimbawa, your age every year. Dito naman sa column B tayo. Your age every year. So, ang age ba, kada taon yun pa rin? Diba nagbabago siya? So, siguro pwede yun sa column B. Kasi nagbabago siya. Pabago-bago. Okay? Now, so just like in algebraic expressions, meron din tayong tinatawag na constant and variable. Okay? So, in algebraic expression, yung fixed value na tinutukoy is referring to the constant, and then yung different value is referring to the variable. So, if you will be assigning any value or any number to the variable, to the given expression, that is a variable. Okay? But if it is a fixed value, that is a constant. So, kung nagbabago siya, variable lang tawag natin doon. Pabago-bago. Pwedeng kahit ano. Pagdating sa constant, hindi siya nagbabago. It doesn't change. It has a fixed value. So, yun din po ang concept na gagamitin natin sa algebraic expression. Okay? So, let us define what is an algebraic expression. So, first, it is any combination of one or more constants and variables along with at least one operation, mathematical operation. So, ito po yung pinagsama-samang constant, variable, na kahit merong isa lang na operation. Also, it consists of one or more terms separated by plus or minus sign. So, ang mga terms nito ay pinaghihiwalay ng plus and minus. Meron ba tayong multiplication dito? Yes, meron namang multiplication kapag meron tayong constant and variable na magkasama. Kaya lang, para mabilang natin yung terms, hindi natin yun gagamitin yung multiplication. Para mabilang natin yung terms, we will look at the plus and minus sign kasi yun yung nag-ihiwalay sa kanila. Okay? So, what is constant, variable, and term? Ano nga ba itong tatlo? So, let us define first the constant. So, these are all part of algebraic expression. So, ang constant, this is any number or symbol representing one fixed value. So, kahit anong number na nagre-represent sa fixed value. Okay, so let's have an example. So, I have x plus 4. So, the constant here is 4. Okay, kasi ito yung number. Actually, some books define constant as a number alone. Okay? May mga books din na they define constant as the number alone. So, ibig sabihin, ito rin yung mga number lang siya. Wala siyang kasamang variable. Okay? And then this one, so 2x minus 3, so the constant here is negative 3. So, isasama po natin ito, yung sign po ng ating number. Okay? So, next. So, yun po ang ating constant. Let's have variable. A variable is any letter or symbol that changes its value. So, this is any letter. So, ito naman, letter. Okay? That changes its value. So, kagaya nga kanina dun sa ating activity, pag constant, fix siya. Yun na yun. Okay? Ang variable na babago. Kaya kapag meron kang letter, ito yung tinatawag nating variable. So, kagaya nito, m plus 4, your m is the variable. Okay? And then, ano ibig sabihin? It changes its value kasi kahit ano po, etong unknown, ibig sabihin kahit ano, ang pwedeng lumabas na value dyan. Or, you may assign any values to the variable. So, ibig sabihin kahit ano po, it varies, iba-iba. That's why it changes its value. So, kapag constant, it is fixed. Hindi mo yan mapapalitan. And then, for variable, it changes its value. Okay? Let's have another. So, I have 4xy minus 7. So, as you can see, hindi lang isa yung letter natin dito. Meron tayong dalawa. Okay? So, therefore, the variables are x and y. So, dalawa po ang variables natin dito. Now, kadalasan, most of the time, ang ginagamit sa math, at I know familiar kayo is A, B, M, N, X, Y. Yan ang mga most commonly used variables sa ating algebraic expression. So, A, B, M, N, X, Y. So, yan po ang mga madalas ginagamit. Okay? So, again, the variable is a letter. The constant is a number. Now, so let's have first this exercises. List all the possible values of the variable. So, number 1, 2, 5. Okay. So, since ang variable nga, it changes its value. So, there are lots of possible values na pwede natin ilagay dito sa M. Okay. So, kagaya nito, M is a negative integer greater than negative 3. So, ano-ano raw yung mga integer, negative integer specifically, na mas mataas sa negative 3. That is, negative 2, negative 1. So, the value of M, your variable, is negative 2, negative 1. Okay? So, itong mga integers na to ay na-discuss ng first quarter. Okay, let's have number 2. So, A is the age of a teenager. So, ano kaya yung mga values nitong variable? Okay? So, kaya siya variable ha, kasi ang daming pwedeng values. Okay? Hindi lang siya isa. Hindi siya, pag isa lang siya, ibig sabihin constant yun. Okay? So, A is the age of a teenager. So, ano-ano ba? Saan ba nagsisimula ang teen? 13 hanggang 19. Okay? So, ayan po siya. So, A, the variable A, has the age of the teenagers, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Number 3. So, D is a multiple of 2 less than 10. So, pag sinabi natin multiple, it's like skip counting. Okay? Pero, may condition dito, less than 10. Mas mababa sa 10. So, 2, 4, 6, 8. So, therefore, the values for the variable D are 2, 4, 6, 8. Number 4. X is a prime number less than 15. So, when we say prime number, there is, the only factor is 1 and itself. Yun lang po. So, what are the values, possible values for the variable X? So, the possible values for X are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. So, these are the possible values of the prime number less than 15 since ang sabi mas mababa sa 15. Okay? And then the last one, y is a factor of 9. So, we have here 1, 3, 9. Okay. So, let's proceed. What is a coefficient? Okay. Pag sinabi natin coefficient, meron tayong dalawa niyan. Okay. So, numerical coefficient, ito yung number part. Literal coefficient, ito yung letter part including the exponents. Okay? So, ang coefficient po ay makukuha nyo lang kapag nakita nyo na may number at letter or number at variable na magkatabi. Okay? Ulitin ko. Ang coefficient po ay makukuha lang po natin kapag meron po tayong number at letter na magkatabi. Okay? So, kapag halimbawa, number lang siya, hindi mo yun pwedeng tawaging coefficient. Kasi number lang. So, dapat meron siyang kasamang variables. Okay? So, halimbawa, I have 2x. So, ito, magkatabi sila. May number, may letter. Okay? So, ito yung variable. So, anong gagawin natin dito? So, the numerical coefficient is 2. The literal coefficient is x. Kung merong exponent, isasama po natin yung exponent. That is the literal coefficient. Next. 5mn. So, the numerical coefficient, yung number part, that is 5. And then, since magkasama sila, so again ha, ang coefficient po ay makukuha lang po natin kapag magkasama po yung ating number and variable. Okay? So, 5, this is the numerical coefficient. And then, ang literal coefficient natin is mn. Okay? Next, I have 10st squared. So, the numerical coefficient is 10. And then, the literal coefficient is st squared. Okay, yun po ang ating literal coefficients. Next, ano naman itong, since we are talking about coefficient, what do we mean by leading coefficient? Pag sinabi nating leading, ibig sabihin simula. Siya yung unahan, nasa unahan. Okay? So, leading coefficient, if I have 10st squared plus 4st minus 7, ano ang leading coefficient natin dyan? Ano yung nasa unahan? That is 10. So, the leading coefficient is 10. But, take note that when we are getting, kapag kinukuha natin yung leading coefficient natin, you have to arrange it first into standard form. Pag sinabi natin standard form, dapat yung exponent mo ay, ang exponent mo naka-arrange siya in descending order, pababa. So, simula sa mataas, pababa. Okay? So, ito, ang degree nito is 3, ang degree nito is 2. Okay? So, kapag ganun, kailangan naka-arrange po muna ang ating algebraic expression into standard form bago natin makuha yung leading coefficient. Okay? Next, I have negative 5mn plus 8. So, by the way, ang ating constant, kadalasan, most of the time, at dapat naman talaga na ang constant natin ay lagi siyang nasa pinakahuli. Okay? Kasi siya yung walang kasamang variable. So, the leading coefficient here is negative 5. So, isasama po natin yun. Okay? So, isasama po natin yung negative. Just like the numerical coefficient, kung ang numerical, if this is negative 10st squared, then your numerical coefficient is also negative. Okay? Next. So, 9x cubed plus 6x squared minus 12x. So, kagaya nito, 3, 2, 1. Okay? Ang exponent po nito ay 1. Hindi na natin yan nilalagay kasi it's still x naman. Okay? So, 3, 2, 1. So, dapat naka-arrange. So, therefore, the leading coefficient here is 9. So, kung ano yung nasa unahan. But make sure it must be arranged in standard form. Dapat naka-arrange yung iyong degree. Okay? So, let's have this term. Okay? Ano naman ang ibig sabihin ng term? What is a term? So, this is a constant, a variable, or a product of two separated by plus or minus. So, sige, kukunin natin ng number of terms and the leading term. So, leading, ito na naman tayo sa leading. Ibig sabihin, siya yung nasa unahan. Okay, but make sure it must be arranged when we are getting the leading term. It must be arranged in standard form. So, descending siya simula sa pinakamataas na degree up to the lowest, the least. Okay? So, since we are talking about terms, so paano ba natin makukuha ang bilang ng terms? Okay? So, kapag ganyan, since ang sabi, separated by plus or minus. So, ito yung plus at minus natin, right? So, yan ang naghihiwalay. So, therefore, isa, dalawa, tatlo. Okay? So, we have 3 terms. Okay? Kasi itong plus at minus, yan ang naghihiwalay sa kanila. So, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So, 3 terms po. Now, leading term. Ano yung nasa pinakaunang term? Kanina, leading coefficient. Yung number lang ang kinuha natin. Ngayon, leading term. So, buo. So, leading term. Ano ang leading term natin? 10st squared. Let's have number 2. So, I have 5mn plus 8. So, number of terms, ito ang naghihiwalay sa kanila. So, 1, 2. Okay, so the number of terms ay 2. So, the leading term is, ano ang nasa unahan? 5mn. Okay, so kapag term, yung buo. Okay, pag coefficient, ito lang. Okay, so next. 9x cubed plus 6x squared minus 12x minus 3. So, sige. Ito po ang naghihiwalay. Plus and minus lang po. Ayan ha, based dun sa ating definition. So, bilang natin ang terms. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have 4 terms. And then, what is the leading term? 9x cubed. Okay. So, sana malinaw po ang ating pagkuha ng number of terms and the leading term, the coefficient, the numerical and literal coefficient, ang pag-differentiate natin sa constant and the variable. Dapat alam po natin yon. Although, ito ay i-discuss pa rin naman sa pagpasok ng polynomials. Okay. So, let's have this one. I have 9st squared minus 4st plus 7. So, let us identify the following. So, the constant here is 7. The variable are s and t. Okay? So, magkahiwalay kasi tinatanong variable. So, hindi mo yung pagtatabihin na st, hindi po. S and t. And then, the numerical coefficient. So, again, etong dalawang to ay makukuha lang po natin kapag merong number at variable na magkatabi. So, ibig sabihin, ito, meron dito at meron dito. Kasi magkasama sila. Now, so, numerical muna tayo. So, since dalawa ito, dalawa ang numerical coefficient natin. We have 9 and negative 4. And then, yung literal coefficient, ano yung kasama nila na letter part with exponent? Including the exponent. So, st squared and st. Okay? So, st squared and st. Okay, so yun po ang kanilang literal coefficient. Next, so the leading term. Ano yung term na nauuna? So, di ba separated by plus and minus. Ito po siya. So, ano yung nasa unang term? 9st squared. Ano ang leading coefficient? Kung meron kang leading term, makukuha mo na yung leading coefficient. Ano ang leading coefficient? 9. Kasi ang leading coefficient ay kinukuha natin sa leading term. Why? Kasi since siya ang nauuna, ibig sabihin, ito rin ang nauunang coefficient. Okay? And the number of terms, so bilangin natin, ito, separated by plus and minus siya. So, isa, dalawa, tatlo. So, we have 3 terms. Okay, test yourself. So, decide whether each quantity is a constant or variable. So, days in a week, scores in a test, sides of a pentagon, age every year, months in a year. So days in a week, can we give the fixed value for the days in a week? Yes, so this is a constant. Scores in a test. So lagi bang fix ang scores natin sa test? No, so this is a variable. Sides of a pentagon. How many sides do we have in a pentagon? Okay, it's 5. So pwede ba siya maging 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? No, so this is a constant. Age every year, yung edad mo kada taon. Okay, obviously that is a variable kasi nagbabago tayo ng edad every year. Nagpa-plus 1 tayo. So, months in a year, how many months in a year? 12. So, we only have 12 and that is fixed. So, therefore, that is constant. Okay? Next, complete the table. So, I'm giving you 1 minute. 1 minute lang po and then papakita ko na po yung sagot. Now, kung kulang ang time, i-pause ang video. Okay, so here's the answer. Okay, so let me just explain this operation. Pag sinabi nating operation, ano yung operation na makikita mo dito? Okay, so since magkatabi sila, that means multiplication. Okay, so eto multiplication, may multiplication ka and subtraction. Dito, meron ka ring multiplication. Once na magkatabi yung constant natin, yung numerical coefficient at literal coefficient, automatic that there is a multiplication in there. Okay? So, ito ay multiplication and then addition. Ito ay multiplication, subtraction, addition. And then this one, multiplication din, kasi magkatabi, and then addition. And then this one, meron tayong multiplication. Ito, yung 2 times x. And then, meron tayong alright, so, it should be subtraction. Okay, so, we have subtraction, multiplication, and then division. Since we have here the fraction bar. Okay, so, these are the answers. So, constant, ayun po, the variable, the leading term. So, dapat naka-arrange mo na siya. So, this is the leading term, lahat ng nasa unahan. So, kapag ganito, ang leading term natin dito is, ang leading term natin dito is 2x over 3. Okay, kasi isasama natin yun. Okay, so, ang leading coefficient, therefore, is 2/3. Okay, so yun po ang leading coefficient natin. So, 2/3. And then the number of terms, 1, 2.